The film Barbie, directed by Greta Gerwig and co-written by Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach, delves into the life of the iconic doll as she ventures out of Barbieland and into the real world. This unique Barbie movie seamlessly weaves humor, fantasy, and real-world issues, taking Barbie and Ken on the transformative individual journeys. To reclaim Barbieland, Barbie joins forces with Gloria and her daughter Sasha, alongside the previously brainwashed Barbies in the climactic scene. Amidst the internal strife among the Kens, the Barbies opt not to amend their constitution, leading to the fall of Kendom and the reformation of Barbieland with certain Ken placements in lesser roles. Barbie imparts wisdom to Ryan Gosling's relative, who grapples with an existential crisis, encouraging him to discover his true identity without her. Meanwhile, Barbie herself faces an uncertain future, contemplating her next steps in her evolving narrative. Faced with the realization that she can no longer embody the stereotypical Barbie, in a pivotal moment, Barbie embraces her transformation into a human, bidding farewell to the beauty and perpetual joy of Barbieland. Barbie, once a symbol, fully understands the implications of her choice that she will eventually pass away as a human. However, she embraces this uncertainty, valuing a meaningful existence over eternal conceptualization. The real world, with its array of emotions, existential crisis, and memories, challenged Barbie's beliefs and desires. She yearned for a deeper understanding of humanity's flaws and nuances of existence, driven by the desire to make a positive impact and chart her own destiny. In this journey, Barbie discovers the astounding complexity of the real world, which, while far from perfect, allowed her to contribute actively just as she had in Barbieland. She sought to grapple with the contradictions of humanity and to explore her own capacity for good. The transformation also prompts us to ponder why Ken, during his villainous phase, eventually rejected the patriarchy, a discovery he made in the outside world and subsequently brought back to Barbieland. The failure of his ambitions for Kendom, however, made him realize that it was okay to experience fear, confusion, and distress. Much like Barbie, Ken found himself in an existential crisis, but lacked the tools to cope. It was only when he heard that he could simply be Ken without being tethered to Barbie that he could finally shed the toxic influences of his actions. He had to leave behind patriarchal beliefs that were only exacerbating his problems. The future of Barbieland was uncertain, what lay ahead for the Kens and Barbies. After the Barbies liberated Barbieland from the Kendom invasion, things seemed to return normal for the dolls. However, their journeys through identity crisis, the impact of patriarchy, and the harsh realities of the outside world had taken a toll on all of them. Without Barbie, Ken had an opportunity to reflect on his true self, potentially paving the way for a more self-assured and non-toxic Ken. The other Kens were likely to follow suit, especially since their true destiny was to simply enjoy beach time with the Barbies, free from the shackles of Barbie. On the other hand, the Barbies became more accepting, even welcoming oddball Barbie into their circle rather than perpetuating exclusion. Barbieland underwent a significant transformation when some of the Kens were allowed to participate in the court, albeit in a limited capacity. At the end of the film, the Barbies and Kens had gained a deeper understanding of each other. These changes and insights might inspire other residents of Barbieland to embark on their own journeys of self-reflection. As for why Ruth Handler chose not to give Barbie a predefined ending, is worth noting that Barbie, originally named after her daughter Barbara Handler, was intentionally created without a fixed conclusion. While the stereotypical Barbie may have lost sight of her own ending, the Barbie doll remains a timeless concept. Across generations, Barbie has served as an inspirational symbol. She's been continuously reinvented to stay relevant, reflecting the significance placed upon her by Mattel and consumers alike. Barbie is immortal, forever the epitome of perfection and an enduring icon, whether for better or worse. The reason Mr. Mattel keeps putting Barbie in a box is symbolic of his and the company's attempts to restrict her potential and limit her ambitions. Inside that box, they could control her behavior, preserving her as a flawless doll encased in plastic indefinitely. There's also a connection to novelist Marcel Proust when Barbie enters the box, as the scent of the container triggers memories associated with Proust. While Barbie steps into the present, the box itself symbolizes something from the past, a relic tied to the discontinuation of Alan, pregnant Midge, and the growing up Skipper. Speaking of Alan, there have been various iterations of Ken, but only one of Alan. When he was first introduced in 1964, Alan was portrayed as Ken's friend and Midge's lover. However, he was discontinued in the mid-1960s, possibly due to limited interest. He later made appearances during significant moments, first as Midge's husband and then as a father to their children. Alan faced discontinuation once more in the early 2000s because he bundled with pregnant Midge, a doll that Walmart had to remove from its shelves due to concerns that it might encourage teen pregnancy. There was a fresh release of pregnant Midge, this time with the baby already born. Unfortunately, the fallout had already occurred, leading to Midge and Alan being subsequently dropped from the scene. A decade later, Midge resurfaced in an animated series Barbie, Life in the Dream House, minus the children and Alan. Simultaneously, growing up Skipper faced elimination due to critical feedback. When Barbie's left arm was twisted, the doll mirrored Skipper's transition into adolescence by growing taller and developing breasts. Growing up Skipper was eventually phased out of the Barbie line in 1977 due to its poor reception. The underlying message of Barbie goes beyond gender politics. It revolves around the idea of delving deep within oneself, exploring one's identity beyond societal norms, and championing change even in the face of fear. It's hardly surprising that both Barbie and Ken grapple with their identities when confronted with a new reality, although they each handle it differently. Both must exert effort to evolve as individuals and cannot revert to their past selves. The conclusion of Barbie underscores the negative impact of patriarchy on both men and women in Kingdom, where their actions were viewed as brainwashing and resulted in their loss of authority, voices, and autonomy. The Barbies keenly felt its weight. Despite occupying positions of power and engaging in destructive behavior, Ken's existential crisis and emotional breakdown challenged the patriarchal stereotype that men should not express emotions or contemplate their identities. Instead of engaging in self-reflection, Ken attempted to dominate the Barbies and make their lives miserable. The Barbies' loss of identity also highlighted the importance of accepting one's flaws and confusion.